Hey everybody, it's Mike. I've got a quick update for you. We're about a week away from the summer solstice, so we'll call this an early summer update. All I wanted to do was recap some videos, some unfinished business over the course of the year, videos I've taken that I haven't edited, things that I'm working on, give you a peek behind the scenes, and then just talk about some changes I want to do to the channel. So for a quick recap, last fall I was working on an apple project exploring lost Maine apple varieties. I'm calling this my Maine apple project. This is ongoing, it's unfinished, it takes a lot of work. It's going to be a while, probably by the fall it will be done. I was messing around with my green screen, these little squiddies for my swimming in the dark theme. Tried to do a winter tent retreat, like a sort of off-the-grid meditation kind of retreat. Tried to make some videos for my Full Circle Dog playlist. It's one of the first playlists I made when I was struggling with choosing a specific theme for the channel. Everyone always tells you that you need a specific niche, and I just didn't care about that. I wanted to just make videos for whatever I felt inspired to in the moment. I did a few big videos on practicing narration. I had a person talk to me online, giving me some critical feedback, and so I spent a day going over narration advice and practicing that, and at the same time kind of messing with my home setup. Started working a lot more on some graphic software, playing around with GIMP more, made my main rant intro as a practice thing. Made some tutorials. I'd like to do more self-sufficiency types of tutorials, like baby step self-sufficiency, so I made a little kombucha video about making homemade kombucha as like an example of something real simple that can help you save a lot of money and make something really healthy. Did some land clearing, learned how to use a chainsaw, felt like a badass. I want to start homesteading ASAP. I'm in an apartment now. I want to rent some land, so hopefully some land that I can eventually buy, but I need to approach the landowner and come up with something, stop being a wuss, and start going full in on self-employment. So I actually overcame some inner blocks and started finding people that would let me shoot video for them. This is something I was doing as a subcontractor before, but started to try to push into doing it on my own. That's it for my roundup of happenings. The second part of this update is to talk about changing my channel name. Sometime earlier in the year, I broke 100 subs. I've been doing this for like 3.5 years now, but not always consistently. It might average out to like a video a month over my whole life cycle, but there's been plenty of times where 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months would go by before I would start uploading again, just because I have to do other things to make a living, and having a small channel and you spend a whole day or more shooting and then another day editing. There's just other things that are more important, and it's hard to be more consistent. This has probably been the most consistent I've been in the last month or so. But one of the first major milestones on YouTube is breaking 100 subs. YouTube gets like some obscene amount of video uploaded every minute, so there's huge amounts of competition for attention, and breaking 100 subs puts you into that top tier, and they know you're serious, that you've got some traction, so they let you make a custom URL. Instead of having a big stretch of numbers and letters, you can change it to whatever you want. So Swimming in the Dark is a artistic theme that I chose when I started my channel because, as I said, I didn't want a specific focus. Everyone tells you for most success you should niche out, and that is correct. If you could pick one focus, you're going to do a lot better. But that's not my mind. I'm a creative person. I'm very curious. I like a lot of different subjects. Guys like Werner Herzog, who have made both fiction and non-fiction films, those guys are people that I really look up to and admire, and I really admire the power of video. So I didn't want to be some niche YouTuber just talking about plants or just talking about dogs or just talking about Maine business. Like, it just went against my nature. But Swimming in the Dark was meant to be this sort of artistic, thematic name. When I think of Swimming in the Dark, I think of the feeling and the experience of being on Maine lakes in the summertime at night when it's cooled down a bit and you can't see in the water, but if you shine the light in, it just disappears. And how scary that is as a little kid, even though there's not really anything dangerous in the Maine waters. We don't have any like poisonous snakes or alligators or anything. The idea of it goes against your human nature. We have natural fears to keep us safe, fears of heights, fears of the dark. And so the idea of swimming in the dark and the experience of it is really thematically aligned with what I wanted my channel to be about. Going out into the unknown. You have to do it on your own. You have to overcome your own internal resistances. Nobody can make you do it, and the reward for doing that is also an internal sensory-based experience. You're out of your element, but you press forward anyways. So that feeling of overcoming the resistance and the reward of discovery was what I meant with swimming in the dark. But at the same time, it's pretty long. It's a lot of syllables. It's kind of clumsy. It doesn't roll off the tongue easy. It's not really easy to remember necessarily if you just stop by the channel. For some people, swimming in the dark gives you this nefarious idea that you're like involved in the occult or something, which is entertaining, but is a misinterpretation of what the theme was. So I think I'm going to change my channel name, and you'll probably see that. Maybe you'll have seen this video and the name and been like, what? I didn't subscribe to this channel. But I am going to change it. I'm not quite sure what yet, but I've started to branch out onto other alternative platforms, which is a future video I alluded to. I want to get into talking about alternative platforms. So I think I might just try to unify my names across those different platforms. So look out for that. And then the last part of my channel update is I think I'm going to enable ads. It's really hard to overcome the algorithm when you're small. In the last few years, with 2 different adpocalypses, YouTube has become more and more censorious. Google itself has become openly political, so they want to suppress certain views and amplify others. And then beyond that, they're just very corporate now. A lot of celebrities have come in, a lot of corporate channels. You see these small-time creators that are just a person with a webcam. They have bigger audiences than multi-million-dollar cable networks and newspapers. And that scares the media, that scares the machine, so they started to co-opt this platform. So I think if I'm going to be able to expand my channel, I'm going to have to enable ads. I hate ads. I'd love to be able to brag about being ad-free, but I don't think I'm going to get there with the algorithm. It's just a simple fact. YouTube needs to make money. They have to support the infrastructure, and so they want videos that are going to get them ad revenue. And it sucks because you really don't make anything on ads unless you're getting like 60,000 views or more per video. There's calculators out there that give you rough estimates, and so it's just not worth it. And I don't want to inconvenience the viewer, but at the same time, this channel's just not going to grow, I don't think, unless I try to do that. If you hate ads as much as I do, just do what I do and download AdBlock. It's a plugin that's available for almost any browser, and it blocks YouTube ads. So if you hate them as much as I do, go ahead and do that. But it looks like ads are enabled on my channel now, so I am going to do that and just experiment and see if I get any faster growth. Like I said, I don't expect to make any money off of ads, although I would love to shift more and more into creating content and making some sort of supplemental income on that. So I'm actually going to try to push through some print and video products that I've had sort of brewing up in the last couple of years. Some of them I've actually recorded all the video for and outlined the whole thing in text form, and it really just needs that final motivational push to turn it into a product. So I'd be more interested in trying to make an income off of that, because I don't foresee making any money off of ads. It's going to just be a necessary evil. But I do like the idea of making products, information that people want, and trying to sell that. As an example, the little project I have with the 100 main plants, I'd love to turn that into some sort of compilation where you could download a digital version of that video and then have some print material that goes with it, like a little booklet that organizes all the plants, maybe by type of species, trees, flowers, or maybe by usefulness, like food or fiber or whatever. Even something like a seasonal calendar could be a supplemental product that shows flowers throughout the year if you want to like attract pollinators to your garden or raise bees. It could be a flowering calendar, what's blooming throughout the year, so that you could, design your homestead or your gardens to be able to provide food for those pollinating insects throughout the year. All right, I think I did it. I think I pushed through. Appreciate you guys for stopping by and listening to this. If there's anything I mentioned at the beginning of the video of those projects, if any of them attract you more than others, maybe drop a comment below and tell me which one that you'd like to see first, and that could motivate me which one to finish. So go back and listen and tell me what you think. All right, guys, thanks again. Peace out.